This video is sponsored by Renderhub. Stick around to find out more about all you can do and also benefit from this amazing platform. So, Twinmotion 2025.1 is now here, and this introduces several new features and enhancements that would improve how you create an exterior environment in Twinmotion. Twinmotion did start as a very simple tool for easy and quick architectural visualization, but has simply transformed into this amazing tool that you can use for both environment rendering, product shot, and also architectural visualization. And 2025.1 simply grants the idea that Twinmotion can now handle exterior environment, as this is where the focus of this particular release is. And this ships with cool features like volumetric clouds, dynamic sky adjustment, environment presets, configurators, lighting and rendering improvement, camera animation enhancement, automotive and transportational design features, and a few more enhancement features that I believe creators would love. So starting off, let's talk about the volumetric cloud. Twinmotion 2025.1 now ships with volumetric clouds, which means that users can integrate through volumetric clouds in their scene. This offers some presets just in case you like to run through the presets and add those clouds quickly and easily. From small cumulus to large cumulus, cirrus, stratus, nimbostratus, altocumulus, and cumulonimbus. But of course, if you like to make some adjustments by yourself, this also comes with some adjustable parameters such as altitude, coverage, distribution, density, and also puffiness. And all of this simply means that you can now create that volumetric cloud exactly how you want it to be. Something that's also very cool is the fact that the clouds respond to wind and also cast shadows. This also comes with a color parameter just in case you like to stylize the cloud. It is quite interesting to see that this is currently available, and by the way, if you like to throw in a bit of the cirrus cloud to add depth to your scenes, then you can of course go ahead and do that. And with the volumetric cloud, there is definitely going to be that sense of depth and realism to your exterior rendering. And something else which is supporting the volumetric cloud is the dynamic sky adjustment. And this feature has now been updated to allow for a more greater control over the sky's appearance by simply modifying the turbidity and also the atmospheric density. So this makes a lot of sense because at this point, users can now set the color or temperature of what they would like the sun to be like, as well as the color and height of the exponential height fog, which would definitely enable the creation of a more interesting and diverse atmospheric effect. And this is more like giving creators more controls and allowing them to play with these tools as they choose. And if you like something a bit more preset-y, then the environment preset in Twinmotion 2025.1 now helps you streamline the creation of various moods. The default preset includes the golden hour, sunrise glow, rainy day, and also Mars horizon. This offers the ability for you to save and reuse environment settings as presets across different projects. So instead of making these changes per project, you can simply save a particular environment preset and apply them to other projects easily. And this will facilitate quick application of complex environment setting rather than creating the same environment setting for different projects. Now for the configurators, which is actually known as configurations in this brand new release, this new feature enables the creation of interactive 3D presentations that showcases different variations of a project. So you can now set up exactly what you want, and you can hand this over to project managers or possibly the sales team for them to show this off to clients. As with a simple click on a trigger icon, you can now instantly change between the variations when using Twinmotion in full screen mode or when viewing images, panoramas, videos, or sequences in a simple local presentation. And this will be useful for a wide range of cases. And how you create configurations is this simple. In our scene, we have two independent chairs. And if we like to create a visibility configuration where one switches over the next, how we can do this is by simply going over to the media section, and then we need to go all the way to where we have configurations. Right there within the configurations, we can click on the drop down to specify exactly what we want. There is the material switch and also visibility. Now, if we want the visibility to turn on or turn off, we can simply do that. The first thing which you need to do is to turn off which object you don't want to be visible at the time. And in this case, we don't want the wire chair to be visible, so we're just going to go ahead and turn that off. Click on the drop down button, specify that we would like to have the visibility configuration, and we can click on the plus button. Now, once we click on that plus button, you would notice that we now have a very tiny switch or trigger button right here. Then the next thing which we need to do is to make sure that we have this one active, then turn off the other one. And once we do that, we can go all the way down here, click on the create state one more time, and that's it. So we can now switch between the first and the second one. So if you go over to your viewport and you click, you should also be able to do that. And this is pretty interesting. Now, some other things that you can do is to go all the way down here and then make some changes to the icon if this is what you want. If you like this to exist in 3D, you can also do that. So we can have this exist in 3D, position this wherever we want, and create amazing looking stuff. And basically, this is how configurations work. I do believe a couple of industries like real estate, product design, and also automotive will definitely find this one super useful. Now, there is no update in Twinmotion if updates to lighting and rendering do not make a single appearance, as Twinmotion 2025.1 introduces a set of improvements to lighting and rendering, and this includes the Projector Light, which acts more like a global light, but in this case this lets artists to project any image or video texture onto any surface, and this is definitely going to be ideal for visualizing live events or installation. There's also updates to the orthographic view, as this now significantly enhances the real-time rendering, contrary to what we have, as Twinmotion 2025.1 now allows a nicer looking orthographic view either in standard or lumen lighting modes, and this includes support for both shadows and remove the black lines around the object. And finally, for lighting and rendering, Virtual Shadow Map technology is now in Twinmotion 2025.1, and this allows for the production of a more accurate and consistent shadow compared to standard methods. Twinmotion 2025.1 also comes with some enhancements to the camera animation, and this includes the Orbit Cam Rig, which allows the camera to revolve around a specified central pivot within a scene, and this will be super cool for those who like to capture a 360 of an object. There's also an ease control that enables smooth and controlled camera motion by adjusting the speed and spatial manipulation along camera paths. The Look at Constrain is also available, and this allows for a more precise framing of shots on specific moving targets by enabling a Look at Constrain of an action cam. And for those working in the automotive and transportation section, there's a couple of interesting updates now. Twinmotion 2025.1 supports the importing of alias wire file format. There's also a brand new material that textures and automatically creates UV for flat cylindrical objects like tires. Alongside this, there's also 4 new tire materials for automotive designers. And finally, within the automotive section, there is now an enhanced car paint material which comes with controls for pearlescent scale, clear coat roughness, and imperfections. You can now throw in those dust, scratches, and fingerprints to add a bit more realism to your vehicle visualization. Twinmotion 2025.1 also ships with some additional features, which includes the measure tool that enables precise measuring of distance between two arbitrary objects, object manipulation tools, which is used for mirroring objects across a plane, reversing face normals, and also selecting and deleting faces. And this is all thanks to the modeling tool that is now available in Twinmotion. Users can now make this adjustment right inside of Twinmotion instead of relying on external DCC tools. And of course, something that I think is super useful that is also here is the automatic level of detail generation, as this helps performance when working with complex imported meshes. And if you like to celebrate, there is now a brand new Confetti Particles, and this comes with a range of presets that users can now use to celebrate the brand new version of Twinmotion 2025.1. Alongside this is a multiple selection enhancement for those who like to select multiple medias and adjust their ambient settings simultaneously, and this is quite interesting. There's also something that is pretty interesting that we possibly may have missed. Now, within the course of the previous releases, the folks at Twinmotion have also made improvements to realistic wind animation onto vegetation and the ability to simulate wind on draped fabric like curtains and so on. Furthermore, they've also added a couple of interesting vegetation, and this totals to 62 photorealistic growable tree species from different parts of the world, and they include North America, Japan, Oceania, some tropical regions, and Europe, bringing the total of new trees available in Twinmotion to 186. And with this, tons of stuff are now available in Twinmotion, and you can start creating that amazing looking render that you've always wanted. And of course, if you're looking for inspirations of what you can create in Twinmotion, then you might want to consider taking a look at the folks at Renderhub, as they do have an amazing gallery with tons of updates coming to it, as there are tons of inspirations that you can get from the gallery, and alongside, you can also find amazing looking content right here from the folks at Renderhub. And if you're looking at ways to learn some cool stuff, then you might want to consider taking a look at their learning hub, where they have a ton of things, especially for Blender artists that are looking for tips and tricks on how to get some things done. The learning hub is always growing with brand new content, and if you're thinking about getting started in Blender, or possibly there's a couple of tips and tricks that you like to learn, then you would definitely find this one super useful. At the same time, if you're looking for free 3D models or textures that you can use inside of Twinmotion or any other DCC tool and create amazing looking stuff, then Renderhub definitely has something for you. And if you're into contests, then you might want to consider taking a look at the Renderhub Sexy Robot Contest version 2, which is currently running and will be ending on March the 31st of 2025. At the same time, there are 2 other contests which are coming soon, and for those who like to take a look at this, or possibly you'd like to catch up with Twinmotion 2025.1, then links to this is going to be in the description, so do well to check it out. Tell me what you guys think about this one in the comment section, and of course if you like this video or you learned something from this, you can go ahead and give a like and don't forget to share with a friend. And until I see you guys in the next one, peace.